This video covers graphing a line given its equation in standard form. So a linear equation in two variables can be written in the standard form ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are any real numbers, and a and b are both not zero. We call this a linear equation in two variables, and the graph of any linear equation looks like a straight line. And when we graph that line, all of the points on that line are solutions to the equation. Now, standard form doesn't tell us much about what our graph looks like. And so for that, we want to change it from standard form into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form of the equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. And we get it from standard form into slope-intercept form by solving for y. And we learned earlier how to solve for a single variable, so we're going to use that skill here. Here I've got a couple examples. I have y equals 3/4 x minus 3. -3 is my y-intercept. 3/4 is my slope. Here I have y equals 2x, well 2 is my slope. And here the y-intercept is 0 because I haven't added anything to it. So when I have it in slope form, it tells me the slope and the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where my graph crosses the y-axis, and slope really defines the steepness of a line. So let's take a look at slope. So there are 4 different types of slope. There's positive slope, which makes my graph look like it's going uphill. Negative slope, where my graph looks like it's going downhill. Horizontal slope, and which is where my slope equals 0. If I was to put a bowling ball on there, it wouldn't roll anywhere. And undefined slope, like that bowling ball would just drop straight down. We are only going to focus on uphill and downhill, so positive and negative slope, but I believe in the next video we'll be looking at slope of 0 and slope is undefined, so stay tuned to this playlist. Slope is defined as the change in y over the change in x, otherwise known as our rise over our run. So in this example, I've gone up 3 and over 1. So my slope is 3 over 1, which we could just write as 3. Remember that any integer can be a fraction with 1 in the denominator. So without further ado, let's do 3 examples. So what we want to do is graph the following. The first thing we're going to do is solve the standard form equation for y, plot the y-intercept, and use the slope to find the next point of the line. You do need at least 2 points to graph a line. So I have -3x plus y equals 3. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. That gives me y equals 3x plus 3. So 3 is my y-intercept, and my slope is 3. I'm going to write that as a fraction over 1. So I go up 3, because it's positive, and over 1. I like to keep in mind what my slope is, whether it's positive or negative, because that tells me that this graph is going to look something like this, like it's going like uphill. So the first thing I do is plot my y-intercept. Then to find the next point, I use my slope. I go up 3 over 1. I could even do it again, but I only need 2, up 3 over 1. And then I can go ahead and graph this line. So there was our first example. Let's do this again. I have y plus 2x equals 5. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides to solve for y. So that gives me y equals a -2x plus 5. So 5 is my y-intercept, and my slope is -2, which I write as a fraction over 1. So because this is going downhill, it's not my rise. I'm not going to go up 3. I'm going to go up 2. I'm going to go down 2, and I still go to the right 1. So we plot our y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I go down 2 and to the right 1. Let's do that again. Down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. See, by now you can kind of notice the pattern. Now you don't have to find all these points. You do just need 2 points to graph a line, but it's always really good practice. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch this line right here. Our last example is 2x plus y equals 4. I add 2x to both sides again to solve for y. So y is 2x plus 4. So my slope is positive. That means my graph looks like it's going uphill. My y-intercept is 4. So my graph crosses the y-axis. We've got our x and our y. And I write my slope as 2 over 1, which is going to be my rise, over my run, which means I'm going to the right. So let's plot our y-intercept. Here I am at 4. I go up 2 over 1. I could do this as many times as I want, right? And then I can sketch the graph of my line. I put little arrows at the end because my graph continues on even beyond the coordinate plane I have here.